Hello Taurus, I am Ulrich, I am a Normal card reader, and today we will do your philosophical financial card readings. These cards are more like a kind of advisors. Maybe you're about to receive a bonus, maybe you spend too much on your credit cards, maybe you need to do some adjustments in your finances. This comes all out of these card readings that we are doing here, these financial card readings. Anyway, Taurus, here we go for your financial card reading for the month of May. Hello Taurus, and welcome to your financial philosophical card reading for the month of May. As your first card here, we see the card of mensualities, or our monthly payments. We all have monthly payments such as telephone, internet, services, insurances, magazine subscriptions, and so on. Here, these things are recurrent and systematic, and we pay very little attention to them because we know they every month come back. But here with this card tells us that a large proportion of people don't notice if these expenses increase, not even if there are major increases in monthly payments. So this card asks you, did you notice that certain of your invoices have been slightly increased? I'm aware that the situation worldwide is becoming increasing financially, but this is not about that. This is about your fixed expenses that you have here. Anyway, what this card is about is that if certain invoices have been increased without an influence of the current worldly situation, did you know that these organizations, for instance, your electricity company, or for instance, certain subscriptions that you have, if you agreed, for instance, for a period of 2 years, that they can, especially electricity companies, gas companies, things like that, they have the right to adjust your expenses actually without consenting you. This is in many countries the case. And here we see, as an informed consumer, we should be aware here of these changes in expenses. So pay attention also to special attention to time-limited discounts, and keep track of expiration of certain promos. Mostly if we go into something, if we sign in, mostly this is during a promo. That's what most people of us do here. But you need to remember that these promos have expire dates. So and after this expire date, the company has the right to put you in the regular. So be careful here, because this is what this card is about. For instance, if you have internet services, it's possible that this company, without your consent, they have put you in another payment system. For instance, also with insurances, if you don't follow up on regular basis here, sometimes they adjust. So check your insurance portfolio. If you don't know if there are certain changes here, because this is also about insurances, seek the advisor of a broker and see if there's some changes there. Also, this is about bank accounts. We know that banks are very expensive. We pay a lot every time we withdraw money, or every time that we that we do an action, we need to pay for it. A lot of us now, we work with internet banking. It's almost an obligation now, but a lot of people also go for 100% internet banking. And why is this? Well, for the simple reasons that these internet bank actually don't have a physical location. If they don't have a physical location, well, it means that they don't need to pay rent, they don't need to hire staff, and this makes things very cheap. So here, sometimes also it could be interesting, or it could be an advice for checking if you could not go 100% in virtual banking. Of course, if you don't like, I understand here, but this card tells you you should consider at least starting doing payments online. This is what we are seeing here, because even if you do small adjustments yourself, you will save a lot of money. This is what we are seeing here with this card. Anyway, you need to realize that every time you withdraw money, you pay for it, and the rates they change from bank to bank, and some of these internet companies are really cheap if you want to work with it. Also, if you start to compare, you probably will compare before you see this, you will probably notice that certain banks are overcharging and other banks are more cheaper. So we should be aware of this here. This is what we are seeing here with this card. Anyway, if we save a little bit of money each month, at the end of the year, if you calculate this all, your insurances, your withdrawals, other things here that are adjusted here, we can save a lot of money. If you could not, this card would not be here. So you need to double check everything here. This is what we are seeing here. So if you calculate all these small payments, you will come to a nice amount of money that you can maybe use for something else. And as we all know, Taurus, they like to be comfortable. If you adjust, maybe you become more comfortable. The next card that we are seeing here, it's a little bit a card in the same line. It tells us that every gesture, every financial gesture that we are doing, it has an influence. It means here probably here that we see in here that maybe there are certain actions with our bank cards, because most of us pay with bank cards these days. And if we pay with bank cards, sometimes we have the impression that we don't pay. For instance, if you are the old-fashioned way, but for many people this will be out of the time of the dinosaur, that actually pay cash. Less and less people pay cash. But here, this card tells us sometimes if we always pay with cash, especially small amounts, we cannot keep track what we exactly pay. Some people will be going into details, but most of, in general, people don't pay attention. Of course, there is a big difference if you pay cash, because the money is actually in your wallet and you take the money out, you hand it over to the cashier, and when it's gone, well, it's clear it's gone. So, and also every time you hand over the money to the cashier, it creates some kind of pain reaction in your brain. Why? Well, because this is your hard-earned money that you are about to spend. So it's a different kind of payment, and it makes you realize here that you can that you need to be careful with your money and that you can improve your finances here. Anyway, a lot of people sometimes get in problems by always spending small amounts. So this card tells you not to spend small amounts and don't buy things that are not important, that don't have priorities. We are all in difficult financial times now. A lot of people are in recess. Sometimes also the readings now in general tell me here that we need to be careful here because we are in recession. This is a short period of time. It will not last forever. But for now, we realize we are all influenced first by the virus situation. Now we have the influence of the wars there in Ukraine. So it has an after effect, and of course it influences our life. So be careful here with your money. If we are in recession, we need to see that we don't spend too much money because everything is more expensive, as you know. Here we see here that if you save money, you can still let your bank account grow, but you will need to be careful here with your money. It's by small decision we are still able to save money. So here, this card reading tells us you need to control your expenses. You need to double check everything and try to go back to the era of the dinosaur and try to pay cash. The last card that we are having here, it's a very positive card that we are having here. Here we see that you probably have progressed over the last months, maybe over the last years, and it's like you're financially with this card are better off. Maybe you are carefree for a few months now, or maybe for a few years. It depends on the situation. It's like we are more the captain of our own ship. This is what we are seeing here, and we are sailing more to calmer water, maybe, even though for others it's more difficult. Maybe it's because you are wise with money. It's possible also, but anyway, every day we must sail course. We know now how fickle our financial situation is, so we need to be careful. Anyway, if you are careful, this card tells you that you are able to financially get a foothold. You get more stable if you want to. So also this card is about recognition of the hard work that you have done. This card tells you that you have done a lot of efforts to come where you are. And if you compare your current situation with a few months or even a few years back, you will see that there is progress. Maybe you don't realize that, but there is. So this card tells you to smile. It tells you to take a break, give yourself a little rest, regain your breath, and appreciate this hard road that you have been traveled. Probably it has been difficult, and now there are additional difficulties. But remember that each problem that you have faced, it brought you closer there to where you are, or for certain people, the finish line. So savor today, celebrate your accomplishments financially, whatever they may be. Give yourself the gift of a well-deserved break. Applaud for yourself how far you have come. So Taurus, this is all for this month. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this financial philosophical card reading. If you have interest in the classic Lenormand card readings, you can find those also on my channel. These are very in detail for the month for you, for each month, in this case, in the month of May. And also we have the philosophical spiritual card readings. These are more guides in your path of life. They give you certain advices. Anyway, Taurus, if you like my video, please consider subscribing. Thank you for doing so, and we see each other next time. Bye bye for now.